All right, positives from today's match as a Mumbai fan. No. Sky, Brevis, Varma, and that's about it. What's happening, everyone? Thank you so much for joining Cricket for Americans. Nick here, and I am excited. Not really. I'm not really excited. But I'm glad to be able to bring you my recap video for today. If you do not know, I'm a Mumbai Indian fan and an RCB fan. RCB fan, you know my pain. Mumbai fan, you probably hate my guts. But don't worry. The universe has corrected itself. CSK, Mumbai are at the bottom. Maybe not completely because SRH is still at the bottom. But Mumbai, CSK are at the bottom right now. And I don't think they're going to do what Drake said. Start at the bottom, now we're here. I think they're going to stay there because they're garbage right now. Oh my goodness gracious. Watch out, Tom Curran. Watch out, Mr. Jason Roy. None of you guys even come close to the abysmalness of a Daniel Sams. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm telling you, if Daniel Sams gets chosen on the Mumbai squad, their side in their next match that they have, if he's one of the starting 11, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to believe in nothing ever again because that would make zero sense. That would make zero sense. Thank you so much for joining me today. I promise I'm not going to be angry the entire time. But come on, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Today I'm talking about KKR, I'm talking about Mumbai. Let me start with KKR. Very, very impressive in a lot of ways. The batting was horrible, unless your name was Patty Cummins, baby. And Venkatesh Iyer also finally showed up, but he had a low strike rate for most of this match. He was nickel and diming, getting some cheap fours here and there, but then he was able to be inspired by Patty Cummins, who was hitting 6 after 6 after 6 after 6, and a few fours in there, on his way to a record-setting pace, 50 runs, 14 balls. I believe that ties KL Rahul for the fastest half-century in the IPL. I could be wrong, but holy cow. Talk about another first. I'll get to that in a second. It wasn't only a first. It was tied for third worst all-time performance. I wonder who that's from, Mr. Abysmal. KKR, very, very impressive because their batting was not there. People were falling left and right. They didn't have a huge run score to chase. It seemed like it was their match from the jump, really, when you had a Rohit Sharma and you had an Ishan Kishan not really be able to do too much. It was nice to see some other things, but KKR from Mumbai, KKR really, really held their own, and they're a 3-1 squad right now. They could be 4-0 if they didn't have that disaster against RCB. Thank you so much for that, KKR. But they could be 4-0 right now. They've had a horrible schedule. They've played more games, I believe, than anyone else so far. They got their 4 matches. They've been able to survive that treacherous schedule, and they're looking at the very top, looking down at Mumbai and CSK. You know, I got to do the CSK drive-by. KKR, very, very impressive. Okay? Patty Cummins was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I was watching most of the match, and then I was following it because I have a job to do, ladies and gentlemen. And every time I would look down, 6, that little purple 6 on the info for Quick Buzz, I hate that color. I hate that 6 because it kept popping up and kept popping up and kept popping up. This guy was insane, and I've seen him do this before. You had everyone else go down, and then when Russell went down really early, I'm like, oh, yes, thank you so much. All you got to do is get by Patty Cummins and Narayan. Even though I'm not fully confident that Umesh couldn't have scored some runs, get by these guys and you'll be able to defend this soft score. They weren't able to do it because of a Patty Cummins. 50 runs, 14 balls, but it wasn't just the bat. This guy's not only known as just the captain of Australia Test Squad, but he can also bowl just a little bit. Got himself 2 wickets, gave up 49 runs. He scored 1 more than he gave up, so that's a positive 1. But he got himself 2 wickets, especially 1 big one in the death there. He had a horrible economy rate. But this guy is coming off after not being in the IPL yet. The first 3 matches he missed. He's finishing some business, right, in the international side. He was going through the whole quarantine nonsense. Comes back in. You think he'd be a little soft. You think he'd be a little this or that. Maybe bowling, he wasn't the sharpest. But batting, he was amazingly sharp when they needed him to. And KKR looks like a very dangerous squad. I had Rajasthan win the entire thing. I don't know if I had. I don't even think I had KKR in the playoffs. If I was to reassess that, I would kick LSG out of there and put KKR in there because they have an impressive squad. And it's not me just reacting. It's the people that they have. They got back Patty Cummins, and they had to take out a Southie who was doing really, really well, right? And then they also, who was the other guy they put in there? They put the kid, right? The kid that was born and bred, basically, IPL-wise, by Mumbai. And then there he is, Rafiq Salam. He did pretty well for his first outing, 3 overs, 18 runs. But KKR was able to weather the storm. They didn't take a lot of wickets. They took 4 wickets, but they took Rohit's wicket very early on. Then they took Brevis, who was doing really good. And that really, Brevis and Ishan Kishan were putting together a nice partnership. They really were, even though Kishan was going really slow about it. And Brevis, this is his first start. Gabe and I had him in the starting lineup. Eventually, we said we don't know if he's going to get every game, but he's going to get in there eventually. And he was very, very impressive. Let's switch over to Mumbai since I'm already talking about it. Oh my gosh, it's so tough because they haven't even looked like a good squad. Not in my opinion. They haven't even looked good. Rohit Sharma, I've seen him do this before. But the problem is not just that he went down for 3 runs. They have some other guys that can bop. He took 12 balls before he went down. He took 2 whole overs worth of balls before he went down for 3. And Umesh Yadav just completely served him up. Length, in the 6-1 short. Boom, right in the air. I first thought, okay, that's going to be a 6, right? No, it was caught. Took up 12 balls. Ishan Kishan took up 21 balls. Okay? It was really, really tough. They didn't look great. And then you got Sky coming in. He hasn't been fit for, 2 months or something like that? He comes in. This is their 3rd match. And he looks amazing. He looks like the Sky we've been seeing from the last 6, 8, 9, 10 months or so. This guy looks phenomenal. He comes in off the street, basically, and is able to put together a 52 off 36. This guy is so impressive. I know Gabe is screaming for joy right now. He'd be in this video right now, but he's unavailable at this time, taking care of some family duties. But Sky was a monster. It was very good to see Varma looking good because I'm watching this match early on. I'm like, okay, Brevis, he's scoring. You got Varma scoring again near the end of that. Helped out the last few overs, especially with Pollard. Pollard was the 20th over. Jeez Louise. Pollard. Why can Pollard do this when they need him to? 5 balls, 22 runs. Why can't he do it when they have more than just 1 over to go? I'm not too sure about that. But the openers were atrocious. The middle order was fantastic. And the finishers, if you want to call them that, even though they weren't finishing, they were batting first, they did a phenomenal job. But I was thinking about this yesterday after the RCB game, and now I'm thinking about it more. And I'm going to make a statement that might upset some people, but this is honestly my way of looking at things. I am getting sick of openers. They seem like prima donnas to me, for crying out loud. They're allowed to take all the balls they need so they can get a set. They can get perfect, and this is T20 I'm talking about. They can get set and all perfect at the crease. Okay, I see my 20 balls. Now I'll try to score, even though it's a T20 match. And then they're going to go down after 3 runs, 14 runs. What's the point? What's the point of taking up all those runs? You got these guys that come in as a finisher, right? Or a middle over guy. Okay, we have fewer balls. Thank you very much. And we got to score more runs. Thank you very much. Openers are driving me insane. They eat up so many balls, and they don't score high enough with the strike rate. I mean, look at this score. 25 strike rate Rohit, 66 from Ishan Kishan, and then 152, 144, 140, and 440 on those 5 balls. Pollard, you're a beauty. I'm getting sick of these openers. I really, really am. They're allowed to take forever, and the middle order guys, sorry, you got to clean up the mess we left out there. Not to take anything away from the bowling. KKR's got some fantastic bowling, definitely outshined their batting, with the exception of Patty Cummins. And again, he was the exception with the bowling. Umesh Yadav is just in some kind of form. He's a top bowler right now in the IPL, got himself another wicket, 620 economy rate. Salam, first match, great job, kid. Narayan, it seems to me like this is the most runs he's given up. So is an economy rate under 7, for crying out loud. Chakravarti, he hasn't looked the sharpest to me, I'm not going to lie. He has not looked the sharpest, and he kind of got a gift wicket there, but with the stumps, okay? I know you're gonna argue with me. Here's another hot take you're not gonna like. I don't think a bowler should get credit for a stumps wicket. I really don't. Sorry, I just don't. It should be like a run out in my opinion. He got that wicket though. But their bowling was just overall was just very, very crisp. They really held Mumbai. Mumbai was like under 50 after 10 overs. It was disgusting. Their batting was a different story. You look at the scorecard, you're going to see Venkatesh Iyer 50 off 41. Yeah, and I'm a huge Venkatesh Iyer fan. This was not his best match. He got a lot of those runs near the end. He was just really looking at like a 100 strike rate most of the match there. Shreyas Iyer, disappointing. You're on my fantasy squad. How dare you? Sam Billings, I'm not impressed with Sam Billings, and I'm not impressed with David Willey. Get those two mixed up all the time. English players from RCB, not impressed with either of them. Sam Billings had a very nice catch, though, not going to lie. Nice catch! Sky! Jeez Louise, that was a nice catch. Forgot to mention that. Holy cow. And then you got Patty Cummins, okay? And I was wrong. It wasn't 50. He was the fastest 50, but his inning score was 56 off 15 balls. Fastest, and again, a 6 on the last ball. Of course he did. Tie with KL Rahul. You know who else had a record in the IPL? Let me get this right here so I have it ready to go. Third worst outing ever. Third worst expensive over ever. You have 237s, which mathematically is impossible. You got those extras. Extras? Yeah, Daniel Sams had a no ball. He gave up another 4. 35 runs. They had to defend 35 off like 31 or something. He ate the entire plate for crying out loud. He gave away all 35 runs. He came in 2 overs, 15 runs, 1 wicket. And then he gave up 35. He got hootied. Hootie when just 3 overs. 3 overs, 50 runs. Get him out of there. No more. Experiment failed by bringing Meredith or something for crying out loud. Bring in some young kid who hasn't had a chance yet. Bring someone in there. Because how many times are you going to do this? He gave up 57 in the first match. And don't give me a war. His economy rate was 8 in the second match. Really? You're pumping your fist over 4 overs and 32 runs? Get him out of there setting records in the wrong way. I'm sorry, but he's my new number 1. Got to get him out of there. It's not working. It's not working. CSK might take him if he's a few years older for crying out loud. Jeez Louise. Sky was beautiful. Sky, you're amazing. You are an amazing man. Varma was great. And baby AB, that was great to see. Really, really was. He looks like he belongs. He really, really does. He looks like he belonged. He looked like he belonged after about 5 balls out there. It was quite impressive. Bowling, very impressed with Ashwin with his 2 wickets. I get it, what you're going to say. Don't put him out in the death. I would have put him out in the 16th. That or Sam's, easy decision. Put him out in the 16th. He got himself 2 wickets. That was nice to see. Varma was able to bowl a little bit. I did not catch that live, so that's pretty cool. Tamil Mills, he's also killing me. He had 2 wickets, and that's great, and he looked beautiful on those wickets, but he's given up too many runs. Him and Sam's alone, jeez Louise, 88 runs. 88 runs for crying out loud. Let's do the math. That's more than half for 2 bowlers who went 6 overs. You gave up more than half the runs in 6 overs, and only 2 of those was in the death. Really? 1 of those was in the depth, excuse me, I can't add. Jeez Louise. Boomerang, he wasn't horrible, but wasn't as effective. Thampy, he had a nice bounce back there, but why? I don't care if Sams has 2 overs left. Why is he the guy that gets the first crack at it? Why? Why? Oh my goodness gracious, it's so bad. It's so bad. And they actually have a better team I gave them credit for. They have a better team than I gave them credit for. And they keep saying them out. They love to give away runs. I don't know what it is. Very, very exciting match. Pat Cummins, my hat is off to you. KKR fans, you have a good squad. They're going to get to the playoffs guaranteed. They're in the top 4 for sure, moving all the way forward. Only they can mess it up, but they have so many weapons. They have guys that can bat 9 deep. 9 deep, you got to worry about those guys batting. Holy cow. It's just absolutely disgusting. 9 deep. And yes, I'm counting Umesh Yadav. Absolutely. They're a disgusting squad, and their bowling was fantastic today. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what needs to change. Please let me know. And until next time, adios.